Hello, anyone not still living in the 1970s? We interrupt your day to bring you this announcement. Husker Ninja is in the building. Alright guys, we are here today with episode number 10 of the Phoenix Suns Association right here on NBA 2K12. And you know what, today we are going to have the off-season video. I know that last episode was the end of January, but I decided we were not doing very well. The season was kind of a lost cause, and that doing 2 games per month with as sporadically uploaded as this series is, I thought it would be wise to just kind of wave the white flag on the season, sort of, and just get to the off season. And so that's what we're going to do today. But first, let's check the stats for our team so far this season. Alright, so as you can see, Marcus Thornton led the team in scoring with 17.4 points a game. J.J. Hickson averaged 14 points a game. Ty Lawson had 13.8. Batum had 10.3. Lopez had 8.8. Gortat had 8.1. And then Garrett Seiler led the team in shooting percentage with a 54.8. Lawson and Gortat also both shot over 50%, 51.6 for Lawson, 50.7 for Gortat, 49.3 for Robin Lopez, and Nick Batum had 45.5, Thornton was 44.1, Hickson was 41.5, J.J. Redick 38.7. Lawson led the team from beyond the arc, shot 50.3% or 50.5% from deep. Gortat shot 50% exactly. Batum was 41.5. Thornton 38.2. Redick was 32.9. Not too much in the way of like rebounds, assists, or steals or anything really. So those are just kind of some of the big stats for this season. As now we take a look at the playoff tree this year. The Spurs got the 1 seed in the West, Miami the 1 seed in the East. And in the first round, San Antonio beat Golden State in 7. Denver took down Houston in 5. Dallas beat Oklahoma City in 5. And the Sacramento Kings took down the 2 seed Lakers in 7. If you remember Steve Nash, we traded him to the Kings before the start of the season. So we'll see if maybe Nash can get his ring here as they won the first round. The second round, you have the Spurs took down Denver in 5, and Sacramento took down Dallas in 7 in the semis. And then Sacramento took down the Spurs in 6 in the conference finals. On the eastern side, you have Miami beat Charlotte in 6. Boston lost to Orlando in 7. The Knicks beat the Pistons in 5. And Chicago needed 7 to get past Atlanta. Then in the semis, Miami swept the Magic and the Bulls swept the Knicks. Then Miami took down the Bulls in 5. And now in the finals, you can see Sacramento and Steve Nash, they got a 3-1 lead over the Heat. So let's see if they can win this series in 5 or if the Heat can stage a comeback. Alright, so you can see the Heat do take Game 5 by 4 points in Sacramento. They stay alive, and the series will have to go to a 6th game. Nash had 14 points for the Kings, though. Looks like DeMarcus Cousins had 26 and 11 rebounds, so a double-double for him. So the Heat dominate Game 6, 114-96. Nash finishes with 25 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. But we're going to a Game 7. So after the first quarter here in the deciding Game 7, the Heat lead at 26-24. Cousins with 6 points, 9 for Solomons for the Kings in that opening quarter. And the Kings have a 50-48 halftime lead, 10 points, 6 assists for Nash in the first half of Game 7. We'll see if the Kings can hold on here. And the Kings trail by 1 heading into the fourth quarter. And who is going to win the finals? The Heat pull away and they come back from the 3-1 series deficit to take down the Kings 98-91 in Game 7. 17 points, 7 assists for Nash, 23 points for Tyreke Evans. This wasn't enough as LeBron goes off for 28 to secure the title for the Heat. You see, LeBron is the Finals MVP. Averaged 27 points a game, 7.5 rebounds a game. Shot 44% from the field in the Finals. And now we check out the retirements. Look for any big names, I guess. You see that looks like Jerry Stackhouse retires from the Hawks. Derek Fisher retires from the Lakers after 16 seasons. Juwan Howard retires from the Heat after he gets the title. Jason Kidd hangs it up in Dallas after 18 seasons at age 39. So we'll see. Kidd looks like he could potentially be a Hall of Famer by the end of it. So we'll have to see how that goes for him. Ben Wallace hangs it up in Detroit after 16 seasons, age 37. He probably had a little nice career for him, Detroit, but he's going to hang it up after the end of this season. And Grant Hill, another player we traded. We traded him to the Trailblazers for their first round pick. And we'll see later how that pick ends up. But Grant Hill hangs it up. Steve Nash is elected not to. So next season we got to be sure to play the Kings and get the rematch against Steve Nash after we traded him this season. But now let's see if anyone made the Hall of Fame. But first, George Karl, after 24 seasons, retires as the head coach from the Nuggets. So Karl is retired. Now let's see if anyone made the Hall of Fame. And Jason Kidd does indeed get elected into the Hall of Fame. Finishes his career with 12.7 points a game, 6.4 rebounds per game, 9.3 assists. And he played 1,349 games in his career. So Kidd makes the Hall of Fame. And now let's move on to the offseason. And now we get to see some progression from these guys. Ty Lawson, he's up to an 83. He's only going to be 24. That's something I like to see. Got a boost in perimeter D, outside shooting, ball handling, rebounding. His IQ goes up as well. So Ty Lawson, hopefully going to be a future face of the franchise here in Phoenix. We traded for all these guys to get younger, and hopefully some of these guys definitely do turn out to be faces of the franchise in the future for us. Power forward, you have J.J. Hickson, goes up 3 to a 77. Gets a boost in rebounding. That's now a B+. And Hickson, we signed him during the season to an extension, so he's going to be around for 4 more seasons for us. Batum also goes up 3 to a 77. Age 23, gets a little bit of a boost to an inside shooting. Outside shooting stays the same at a B+. Perimeter defense goes up. His post defense goes up as well, as does his ball handling. So really, if I'm being honest, the 2 players I definitely see for sure as the franchise cornerstones, Ty Lawson and Nick Batum. They're both very young. Think they got a chance. Hickson, perhaps. He's still young enough. We signed him to an extension. But I'm not sure on him yet. We'll have to see how that pans out for him. We also have Marcus Thornton going up 3 to a 77 as well. So Hickson, Batum, Thornton all going up 3 to 77. He gets a boost to his outside shooting. That's an A-. His perimeter defense goes up to a B. His IQ also goes up to a B. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Batum will be a restricted free agent. And Thornton at age 25. We'd like to bring him back. Don't know if he'll be a starter next season. We'll have to see how the offseason goes. Gortat does not improve at all. He's age 28 now. Still got 2 years left on his deal. Center could be potentially a position we look to upgrade. Not sold on Marcin Gortat, really. He would be a pretty decent backup, though, I'm not going to lie. You have at power forward, Robin Lopez, age 24, goes up 5 to a 68. And so post defense, you got that goes up to an A- from a B+. His inside shooting jumps up to a B from a C+, so he gets a 2-point boost in that. And Lopez, we also signed him to an extension. He's just kind of going to be a backup 6-man kind of guy, a key rotation piece for us. Don't really see him as a starter right now, though, which is why his contract is nothing huge. Earl Clark goes up 3 to a 67. Again, now we're getting into just some of the bench pieces. So we'll just see how that goes. Cartier Martin goes up 1. He's a 66. Gary Forbes has no change. Xavier Dowdle goes up 3. He's a 63, still 27. J.J. Redick at age 28. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He actually goes down 1 to a 63. Garrett Seiler goes up 5 to a 57. He's hopefully not going to play much. Darnell Jackson, he's probably going to walk. We're not too interested in bringing him back at a 54. But now it's time to move on, officially get into the off-season. So to start the off-season, we are here with the draft lottery. You can see we have a 25% chance landing the top pick. That comes courtesy of the Trailblazers, finished with the worst record in the league. The Wizards have a 19.9% chance. Our own pick, we had the third worst record. We got a 15.6% chance. Grizzlies, 11.9%. 76ers, 8.8%. Timberwolves, 6.3. Nets, 4.3. Cavs, 2.8. Bucks, 1.7. Jazz, 1.1. Under 1 for the Hornets, Pacers, Raptors, and Clippers. So very unlikely those guys are going to jump up to the top pick, but I guess we can see what happens. And the 15th, or 14 goes to Clippers, 13 Raptors, then Pacers, Hornets, Jazz, Bucks, Cavs. So far the same. Nets 7, Timberwolves 6, Grizzlies 5, Wizards 4, Suns 3 and 2. Oh man, the Sixers do get the top overall pick, but we have the second and third picks. So you can't complain too much about that, I suppose. So now we are going to move on to staff re-signing, but that's how the lottery shakes up. Okay, so for a team option, our only guy is Ty Lawson. He's we're going to accept that one. He'll be a restricted free agent next year, I guess, but we are going to accept this team option anyway for him. And do a qualifying offer to Batum and Earl Clark. And if they get another offer they like better, we will match Batum's for sure. I don't know about Clark. Clark is a small forward, so I don't know about him, but we'll keep that there for now. We look at the incoming free agents. Thornton, Martin, Forbes, Dowdle all want to test. Slyer and Jackson we're going to let walk. So with only 2 picks, the second and third, I'm going to show you sort of who we're looking at within the top 5. And that would be Alex Paul, a 22-year-old point guard from Miami, Ohio. You can see strengths he's got. A natural ability to play in the low post on offense. Mobile player uses his size to his advantage. Long-range shooting ability, but a defensive liability when posted up, and not much of a rebounding presence in the paint. His grades: A+ overall, A potential, B- inside shooting, B+ outside, A- perimeter D, F post defense, IQ ball hand or B IQ, A- handling, - rebounding, and A- athleticism. And then there's also Gabriel White, 21-year-old point guard from Ohio State. So he's 1 year younger, shows above average of good skills in the low post. Should be an all-star Sunday, probably sooner rather than later. Weaknesses are rebounding and low post. But again, these are point guards, which I have identified as probably our biggest position in need. Marcus Thornton is a shooting guard naturally. We had him playing point guard out of position all season. So we got to address point guard. He's got an A overall, A+ potential, B- inside shooting, a little higher potential than the other point guards, little worse outside defense, outside shooting, B+ perimeter, F post, B- IQ, A- ball handling, F- rebounding, A- athleticism. So I would say I would lean probably Paul is the top overall guy. White would be someone else good to take. And at shooting guard, the guy I'm interested in, Randall Steele, a 20-year-old from UTEP. Could definitely develop into a really good player. Should be able to hit jumpers from 15 feet and beyond regularly. His weaknesses are shows little desire when it comes to rebounding, but no other significant weakness. And if you look at his grades, A+ overall, A- potential, B- inside and outside shooting, A+ perimeter defense, B- post defense, B- IQ, B- ball handling, F rebounding, A athleticism. So we would have another potentially intriguing option when it comes to Randall Steele. Can he play point guard as well? He can't. And arguably the top player in the draft, Matthew Cheeks, 21-year-old small forward from DePaul. Should be a major contributor out of the gate. Good anticipation when trying to force turnovers. Off position to pull down boards, he should be grabbing, but no other significant weaknesses. He's got A+ overall and potential, B- inside and outside scoring, A- perimeter D, C+ post D, B IQ, C ball handling, D+ rebounding, A athleticism. All those guys look really good. Don't think we would go wrong either way. And so let's move on to the draft. And the Sixers are going to have the first overall pick, and I have no idea what they're going to do. I guess if I had to take a guess, I would say they probably take the small forward just because he's the top overall player. But I don't know what their needs are. I don't know if they're going to take someone else. So I would guess they would take the small forward here. And yeah, they do take Matthew Cheeks from DePaul. So the number 1 overall pick goes to the 76ers, and we are on the clock. That would be an Alex Paul. Yeah, we're going to take Paul right now. He's the best overall guy right now. He's 22. Should be able to develop. We need a point guard. Alex Paul, come aboard. Yes, let's draft this player. And then we are going to have the 3rd overall pick as well. And the question becomes, do we take another point guard or do we take the shooting guard? That is what that question becomes. We are on the clock again. Alright, so here, do we take a Randall Steele or do we take another 2-point guard? We've got White is 21. He's got an A+ potential though. The shooting guard only has an A-, I think. If I remember that correctly, he's only got an A- potential. He's got a higher overall. He's 1 year younger than the point guard. But he's only got A- potential. I think we go with the potential over the age. And again, we don't really need a shooting guard with Ty Lawson and hopefully Marcus Thornton coming back. Let's take Gabriel White. Take the top 2 point guards in the draft with our top 2 selections at number 2 and number 3. And now we will advance the rest of the draft and look at the draft recap. So looking at the draft summary, Randall Steele does go to the Wizards. He was an 82 overall. White's only an 80. Steele is a little bit younger, but I thought point guard, more pressing need, and really I was just betting on his potential. Matthew Cheeks, an 83 overall, good solid pick for the Sixers at number 1. Paul was an 82, so Paul would probably be the starter, and Gabriel White would probably be the six-man type of guy. Elsewhere, you've got Darius Page, number 5 to the Grizzlies. He's a 79. Constantine to the Timberwolves. He's a 75. Chase Farmer, 75, shooting guard to the Nets. Sean Mitchell, 75, shooting guard to the Cavs. Leroy Reed, he was a point guard I liked earlier, but he was still in the lottery, and he was not as good as the 2 top 5 guys. So Leroy Reed going to the Bucks at number 9. He's a 75, 20 overall. I did like him. Matthew Bush, 73 point guard to the Jazz. Henry McKenzie, 67 small forward to the Hornets. 63 Emmanuel Ortiz. Shooting guard Pacers. Raptors take Herman Hunter. 64 or 67 shooting guard. 65 point guard to Murray Daniels to the Clippers. And looking at the rest of the first round, 65 and not too much else to write home about, honestly. So now it's time to sign the draft picks. And we will sign Alex Paul and Gabriel White to 2-year deals. Let's go ahead and just confirm those. Don't know why you wouldn't. So free agency is upon us. We're looking shooting guards first. And then center is a position I would love to target. There weren't any good centers in the draft. Otherwise, I would have tried to take one. But because I'm not sold on Gortat. But Marcus Thornton, we want to bring him back. Alright, so here's the contract we're going to try offering him. $24.56 million, 10% backloaded over 4 years with a player option for a 5th year. And the 6-man rule is what we're going to give him. Alrighty, and then at center you have Brook Lopez. Marc Gasol's 27. Yeah, Lopez, there's Maurice Spates. He's not nearly as good, though, as Brook Lopez is. We got to try and make a big offer on him. So I will get back to you in a little bit. All right, and we will give, so here's what we're looking at. $63.12 million, 10% backloaded, 4 years with a player option for a 5th year. And we will give him, do we want to give him the starting role? I guess he's our 3rd highest overall player. So yeah, we're going to do that for him. And just have to hope the Nets don't match his offer sheet. Which they probably will. So we also need to try and look for a backup, I guess. So I can't promise Spates a starting role right now. So we're going to give him $37.94 million, 10% backloaded, 4 years with the player option for a 5th year in the role player. If Lopez ends up sticking with the Nets, we're going to have Spates as our backup option, I guess. The 76ers decided to match the offer sheet with Maurice Spates. Alright, so it says Lopez has decided to accept our offer. Now it's up to the Nets to match, which I suspect they probably will, which would make me sad. But what can you do? Alright. Thornton's still mulling his offers. Yep, the Nets match the offer sheet. So he's going back to the Nets, unfortunately. Would have been nice to have him, but that's okay. Alright, and so we're going to try $28.52 million, 10% backloaded. He's got 4 years player option for a 5th year, 6th man. We have the cap to spend on him now that we're not getting Lopez. So, and Batum, right, the stats would be a match. Does that mean he didn't want to? Oh, 4 years, 26.53 million. Yeah, that's an easy match for us, honestly. Yep, we'll match that. And Marcus Thornton signs with the Cavs. That sucks. That really... Alright, Thornton. Who needs you anyway? At least we got Batum back. That was what I was really looking at. So now we got to scramble, look for another shooting guard. Yeah, not a fan of that. Let's see what we got left. Alright, so if we need a backup shooting guard, perhaps Landry Fields. He's 24 years old. He's not going to be as good as Thornton was, but we're gonna go ahead and make this offer anyway. Let me set it up. Yeah. So we're gonna give him $27.62 million a year, 10% backloaded. I think that's total. Sorry, my bad. 27.62 total. Player option and a role player for us. And we'll see if he takes that. Yep. Fields decides to sign with the Knicks. So the Knicks and the Cavs are people we gotta keep an eye out for. Still need a shooting guard, but there's really no one left. Yeah, I don't like any of those backup options. Alright, and so with the center market depleted, we're just going to go ahead and bring back Garrett Seiler. He's only 25. Might as well just bring him back, see what happens. And so Seiler has decided to re-sign with us. We still have Clark mulling his qualifying offer, I guess. I don't know. And yep, Clark accepts a qualifying offer. Guess no one else offered him, so we'll take that. That's easy. Alright, so we're going to set Alex Paul to starter. And you know what? We're going to set Gabriel White to 6th man, since he's going to be playing the most minutes off the bench. He's a 6th man. Alright, so here's our rotation heading into Season 2. We got Alex Paul, your rookie point guard, getting the start. He's getting 35 minutes. Ty Lawson also getting 35 minutes. Starting shooting guard. Batum's got 32 minutes. Hickson has 32. Gortat is at 30 right now. White has 29, the other rookie point guard. So he's our 6th man. He's getting the most we can possibly have off the bench. Lopez also getting 20 minutes off the bench. Still like him to try and develop. Redick gets 13. And you got 7 for Clark and for Allen. And they're just kind of meh. Just to help round out the rotation. So yeah, next episode we're going to start Season 2, guys. And hopefully it goes much better than Season 1 did. But that will do it for me. And I will see you guys next time.